Okay, welcome to Mindful Cardio and Strength. I have my weights and my step, and I don't know if there's going to be a particular theme today. It'll be well-rounded cardio, step work, and some upper body, and maybe we'll get some squats in too. So, trying to give everybody a little bit of a kind of a theme at the beginning of classes this semester. So hopefully I'll remember to do that. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start using the step, walking up and down right foot. I just want to take like 5 minutes of getting the juices flowing, and then I might do a little bit of, since we are on the step today, kind of just getting a little bit more warmed up in the body in some other ways, and then come back to the step. So right foot starting to get ready. Nice to be here and get some movement in. Feeling the feet on the pedals if you're on a stationary something, feeling your feet in your shoes if you're wearing shoes for the step. And just maybe letting a few breaths go out. About to switch it up, stepping up with the left. And settling into maybe body scan, feeling the feet first, then the calves, the knees, the legs. And noticing a little bit of tweaks and twinges in my body. So it feels good to start moving, but also paying attention to those spots. Sometimes I get out of my routine, don't get in my classes, and then little things here and there. I'm always still out gardening, working my body in those very different ways. It's good to keep up on I didn't teach strength on Sunday, so missed that opportunity. So we're going to make up for it today. Keep going with that left foot, a couple more. All right, and then let's march it out on the floor. And take in that breath again. And bring your feet to still. And I'll just step up. You don't have to come up on your step. I'll just step up there so you can see my feet. Let's do a couple of heel raises, working with the ankles a little bit because we're going to be on that step. So in your shoes or in your toe stockings with a little bit of rubber stuff on the bottom. I don't often put these on, but I thought maybe these will work really well for this practice because probably could do a barefoot. I like a little bit of tread also. So we'll see. Up and down, nice, easy, heels up and down. Good, and then let's bring the knees forward. So we'll work the ankles both directions there. They were going up and down. Now knees get to be part of it. Knees tracking straight. As you continue, see if you can notice. I happen to have a big mirror here in front of me at this studio. So I can actually watch my own kneecaps and which knee wants to kind of wobble versus the other one. Or when I'm mindful about it, how nice and straight they can stay. So let's come down and pause there. Loosen up in the shoulders, a little bit of bounce. Really asking those quads to work. And then come on up, shake it out. Jaw nice and easy. And then let's warm up the shoulders a little bit too here in the torso. So let's just give a little bit of a twist here. Pull the belly in to support. I'm letting the hips go to start this one. Hips can come along, but my belly is pulling in. I'm taking the low back with me. And then now anchor the pelvis and let the movement be a little bit smaller. Up here. And then hands at the head. And let's reach the elbow points out and up. Reach them out and up to get nice and broad. And then take that over. And back to center. And over. Keep reaching with those elbow points. Over. Over. And then come back to center. And take the hands all the way up. And then let's roll a little bit here. Roll through the top. I'll come to sideways view. Kind of pausing here. Feels kind of nice just to expand upper back, expand middle back, expand the lower back. Roll down. And then pull the belly in and do the reverse. Come up, expand the low back, expand the middle back, expand the upper back, come up, and let's go all the way into a little bit of back bend, looking upward, long back of the neck, oh, a little bit of back bend, and then bring those arms down. Good. See how you feel. Ready for more stepping? I feel a little better for my spine. Hopefully you do too. Kind of felt like I needed to connect in. All right. So now I'm going to come back on to stair and we're going to switch. So right foot, then left. Good. So curious what everybody's been doing. So we get to the end, last day of August here. Getting into that season change, can start to feel it happening in the air. The nights, for the most part, been kind of cool, good sleeping weather. Those days, not really feeling too short yet, but they're going there. And what's going on with your routines? Are you trying to use this time to kind of reset the routine? I know I am. Sending kids to school today. Now working on the kids' schedule, also working a little bit on my own. Be nice to get back to maybe taking a class for myself so I can learn a little bit more. Also give myself that TLC. Try not to pack in too much. And for me, just enough adventure. Those are the recipe. That's a recipe for fun life for me. Just enough work, lots of play, lots of connecting with people, traveling when I can. Let's make this a little wider. So go ahead and take that big step on your stepping wide. And if you want to get a little more active about it, take that leg way back. Take that leg weight back. A little frozen on one screen here, so hopefully your screen I'm moving. Just gonna double check quick. Oh. Keep going. Yes. Keep going on your own here. And we're doing that wide step. All right, we're gonna switch it up. We didn't do these last week, so I'd like to do them from the top. I'm gonna go side step, up and tap. And you can even throw in a little bit of a kick and a tap behind. Kick and tap behind. Kick and tap. Kick and tap. Kick and tap. And reaching that inside of the foot across. So as you set your routines and maybe kind of revise those intentions, I like to use that word a little more than goal, but as mentioned last week, I'd like to have a little, it'll be probably a local workshop on how to really integrate these ideas we'd like to have in our life, right? These habits. And as we know, it's so hard to kind of switch those up. I'm gonna go all the way over and back down. You can do a little hop if you want. You can even take your arms and go over like a big rainbow. And if you're walking it out, get the arms up above the heart. Or you could be doing that little skip. I'm going to stay on this side, walking behind your step, and we'll step up, kick, step up, kick, step up, kick. And if you want more difficulty, you could have light weights in your hands. I wouldn't have too high of ones, as I need to kind of keep my balance here. You could slow it down though, and you could have those weights. You can try pointing your toe with that kick, straighter leg. Or you can keep it at a tap. You can keep it with a little more of a bent leg as you lift it. Let's come back and stand behind your, go ahead and march behind. You get to do that on the other side. Let's take it wide. And let's do 10 squats, big sumo squats. You're coming to center, coming down. I'm gonna grab those weights. Good. And then back to have a little march here. The weights can go down at any point. You might see me putting mine down. Started with a little tap here. Tap. Actually, we started on the side. That's what we're gonna go back to. Just stepping up to the side here. Now my weights are too heavy. When we get to that one for rainbow, I don't want to throw them around. But in the meantime, I can have a little weight here, those muscles working. And then we did, I'm gonna swing that leg out in front and behind. Not a kick, right? We kind of took it across the body and behind. Across the body, a little bit of balance there. And then behind. Tap and cross. Tap, across. Feeling a little bit more on this side. Got my weights. And you'll see sometimes I forget I'm going behind and in front. In front and behind. Couple more. March it out. I'll put those weights down. And we'll use my hands a little bit more and come right over the top and over the other side. Good. That hop in there if you want. Those arms in there if you want. Good. Couple more, getting that heart rate up. Staying in zone 2. So if you have your chest harness, you've got your device, maybe it's your phone, checking out where you're at. Where's that heart rate at? I'm using that old-fashioned finger to the throat, counting it out for 15 seconds. And I know I've gotten into that zone 2. Go ahead and march it out here. Nice. Good. We're going to go to first side. Either side's probably going to be fine. So whichever one you'd like, we're going to step up and a little kick back here. So back down, step up, kick, and let's go with the arms open and the leg relatively straight. So that's the tricky part here. Not a big kick if we straighten the leg. Welcome to have some weights. I recommend 5, 3, 2 for this. Let's go ahead and switch. And several over here. Kick. Nice straight knee. Go back to those habits. Generally find that making small changes really the way to go, right? Everybody says baby steps. There's a reason. It's likely making those sweeping changes is a little harder. Now we're going to go side to side. And this time you can do a little kick here, lifting the back heel. So what little change can you make, habit, that you can create into a habit. And there's all sorts of data about how long you need to do it in order for it to stick. At least 2 weeks. See if you can stick with that new thing for at least 2 weeks, likely even longer, to make it stick. So one is baby steps. Go ahead and march it. Good. And grab those weights. If you're on a machine, you're watching the video here and you're on a machine, you can just keep going. It's up to you if it is convenient to get down and do some squatting here. You can always add them at the end. So let's go ahead and come down and up, down and up, straight. Not as wide as I was last time. Toes a little more forward. I could even add down and up, down and up, down. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Back onto the step. I'm going to come nice and close to you all, stepping down on the front, stepping down and back. So on the habits, 1 is finding something small. 2 might be to add that something small to something you already routinely do. So what in your routine can you attach this new habit to? Maybe your routine is to get up, use the restroom, and before you head out of the restroom, I found the only way for me to make sure my teeth get brushed is to do it right then. I know it's not after a meal, and I know I risk taking my breakfast with me, but my teeth always get brushed. So I figure that's a win. Try not to leave the bathroom without getting that done. Wash up, get my teeth brushed. And for a little while, it took me just a little while to routinely scrape my tongue. It's Ayurvedic, possibly, but it's also just really nice to get that bacteria off the tongue, because we know that's the bacteria is what gives us kind of the foul smell. So I love doing the tongue scraping now, and it's just part of the routine. Let's step down with the other foot. A few more here while we talk about routines and attaching them to something. Baby steps, attach it to something. Notice I'm going to take an overhead here as I go up, overhead with the weights. Good. Couple more. March it out, back behind your step. All right. Those weights down. A little freedom with my hands again. All right, and we're straight up with the right. And if you'd like, you can do a little hop here at the top. So straight up, little hop. Straight up, little hop. Or if you wish, hop on the floor. So hop and down, hop and down. Either place. Adding a little hop here. Doesn't have to be very far. You could even just do a heel raise and back up. Let's go up with the left foot. So habits, baby steps. Attaching it to something we already do. Putting it on the calendar. If you look at your calendar, right? If you use that calendar and it's there, at least a reminder that that's what's happening. That's what needs to happen. Sometimes we're talking about those littler things. Maybe it's your kitchen having an open and closed hours. After a certain time, kitchen's closed. And how do we attach that then to our day? For some of us, we're eating a little later right now. Right after supper, the kitchen's closed. And as we get darker, or maybe you start to eat a little earlier in the winter, continuing that practice. I have a book I'm reading about habits. We'll have a little more to share with you, probably these Tuesdays, sharing a little more about habits this month. On a little bit of a turn here. I'm gonna take that leg back. A couple more minutes here of cardio with the step. If you want to up the ante, you carry those weights with you, arms more. A little bit of a hop step. I'm going to come over to here and I'm going to work with sprinter lunge. You don't have to necessarily be at the end of your step to do this. But I'm going to lean in this way and we're going to take that step up and tap up and tap up. Keep that other foot up there. And I could bring that knee up if I wanted to, doing a little pull, pull, pull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come on down, walk it over. I'm going to try it on the other side, just because I like to use different side, but I could be at the back just as easily going forward. Right foot up for me. So your second side, tap, tap. This is really great for that standing leg, isn't it? Balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, whoops, 1. I looked around a little bit, lost my balance. Come on back to your step. All right, I'm gonna grab those weights. Let's get in a set of those bicep curls and watch the heart rate a little bit after that. Maybe went up a little above your 2, zone 2. I'll go ahead and feel the feet. Let the shoulders be in a good place for this bicep curl. It can be a lot slower. If you have lighter weights, take it slower on purpose and really squeeze as you come up. Squeeze as you come up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and take those weights at the side of the body. I'm going to step up here just so you can see what I'm doing, but you don't have to be up on your step. Knees forward. It's my most closed squat so far. Take those weights down and come back up. And again, I have this nice, if you're looking into a camera, you can see yourself, watch your knees track and be really watching how nicely they can stay going straight ahead. Very few of us get through life unscathed, and likely one of your knees might do something where it would like maybe go out to the side like that, or be just a little more wobbly. Good strong legs, help those knees. So we'll keep working with these squats, getting those quads and hamstrings, keeping them nicely toned. 3, 2, and 1. And then go ahead and pause there. I'm gonna keep that heart rate going, this time overhead. So we did a little bit of this earlier, but now you can take those heavier weights, push them up overhead. Keep those shoulders, tops of the shoulder muscles into the traps. The whole upper body gets this nice workout when we can push something overhead. Good. How many left? Let's do 5. My favorite number today. 4, 3. Gonna bring the elbows all the way down. 2, all the way down. 1. Bring those weights down at the side body. Feeling it a little bit. All right, if you have a wall space, go ahead and set your hips against that wall. If not, you're gonna watch really carefully that your hips are gonna stay. Bring the weights right here in front of the chest. If you want to, those weights can go further out, a little more effort. And then we're gonna take the spine, turn, back to center, turn, back to center. That wall is really nice because I can tell I'm not moving the hips. I can feel my sacrum and my backside on the wall. Staying, my knees staying. Last 2, last 1. Good one. All right, we have our seat at the wall if that's you. If not, even if you're not at the wall, I'm gonna take my feet out a little bit further away from the wall. There, now you can see my feet a little better. And I'm gonna sit back and I slide down that wall. So if your wall is slidable, I'm gonna work with that, bring my body closer to the wall. So if you don't have the wall, you're gonna mimic coming down to almost a chair height and working with that. The wall gives me a little something to push into. So I can get a little more, ooh, that's a real burner. I'm gonna keep my knees going straight, keep those quads working. You don't have to move the arms. We're gonna do one more. Up, down, and slide up and come to standing. Good. I have no idea how long that was, but maybe we'll care about that at some point. All right, let's see. What haven't we worked with? I'm gonna work with the push-up yet. So I'd like to do that. Well, before we set these down, let's work with triceps. This is a real nice way to get in at least 1 rep. So come on forward here. Nice straight spine. Cozy those shoulder blades in. So they're cozying in toward the spine, kind of finding that the wings onto the back. And then elbows come in and press back. How's that going? All right, come to standing, come to upright. You got biceps, triceps, overheads. Let's do one with at 45. So you can point your knees out, toes out, come out again, come up again here so you can see. And let's take those arms out and back in, out and back in. If you want, add a squat. Don't have to. I might not. Good. Two more. Now, if you have heavier weights than I do, that's pretty tough going out there. Usually 3s, 5s, can start to feel it with a number of repetitions. All right. A couple weeks ago, I did some work on the step. Let's come to lying down on your step. If you don't have a step, you'll be on the ground, on your floor. So hopefully you fit your head to your tail. If not, scooch down so at least your head is really nicely supported. So give me some feedback, all of the tall people. I know Scott probably wouldn't fit, but I'm going with the fact that maybe a bunch of us do. Again, you can move to the floor if it's not comfortable. Hands can come to the floor here. And then let's work with the belly a little bit, the low belly. Bring the one knee up and the other knee up. And then go ahead and take the toe down, tap, and come back up. Opposite, and come back up. Toe, and back up. Toe, and back up. Good job. Couple more here. Belly working more than the front of the legs is what we'd like. Bring more thought and attention there. Bring the feet together, let the shins come down, and continue here. Toes tap, legs together. Watch the shoulders in the middle of the back to notice if they really pop up here. Make sure the shins are low. If there's a lot of movement in the back. If you feel really quite strong, you could lift those feet away a little bit. Oh, and then come down with the legs. Okay. And then your choice, if you'd like to transfer to your mat, if that's a little more comfortable, you're welcome to go there. Let's bring the hands behind the head. And those elbows, just like when we started, out to the sides, kind of reaching out a little bit, getting nice and long, lengthening the back of the neck as you lift the head, and feeling the spine come toward your step, and then coming up. And just watching from here, you can maybe see the legs reaching out and the pubic bone reaching out as well. So come on down. That's a little bit different with this, isn't it? Because when we're on the floor, you might have that tendency to really curl. And right here, the legs are kind of pulling that down. So let's come on up again. And then if you'd like to, bringing one knee up, the other knee up. One leg down, the other leg down, and come back. And then coming up. And then this time, let's take one arm out to the side. I'll do it this way so you can see. And let's do a little reach with the opposite shoulder toward your opposite hip. Come back to both hands, reach. across, reach that shoulder across, reach that shoulder toward the opposite hip, shoulder, back, shoulder toward the hip. It's awfully tempting to wrench that elbow. The elbow comes along, but really think about the shoulder. Last two. And back down. And we might feel that a little bit tomorrow. All right. Now, some of you are on a step, coming up the best way you can. If you're on the floor, finding your way up to seated. So seated on the ground, on a chair, on your step. And let's take the arms up. Back up just a little. And then with the arms reaching up, you could also do this standing. Let's take a little side bend, just like we started with, a little bit of side bend. And you could grab across if you'd like, give yourself a little more pull. Pull upward as you pull outward or over, giving that side body a good long reach. Other side. Just dropping the jaw. Coming back to center, taking the arms down. Nice deep breath. I'm going to take the feet out. Taking the feet out. I'm just taking them out this way because if I take them out toward you, they disappear. And I'm going to go ahead and use that nice step. Knees are already a little bit bent. If you're on the floor, the knees can be bent. And let's take that nice long spine forward. And then at a certain point, we're going to start to rounding in the low back. Pull that belly back, just like we started with. How we got nice and broad here, taking our time. Breath even. Taking a breath at each section. Then we got really broad here. And then we got really broad up here. And then the arms, shoulders could get really broad, reaching the back. Reaching the back. Inhale. Exhale. Your decision how much effort to have here as you breathe. Maybe you let go of some of that effort now. And then go ahead and roll yourself up. And finished. Good job. So let me know how that went for you. And let me know if you've watched the video, how it's going and what you'd like more of, less of. I think next week we'll talk some more about habits. I'll bring out some more ideas to talk about your schedules and incorporating these ideas into your routines. So have a great rest of your day and rest of your week. Tomorrow is September 1st. So just a reminder, those of you that take my classes on a regular basis, tomorrow we'll start Movement Lab at 9 a.m. Wednesday. 9 a.m. Wednesday for Movement Lab. Those of you that are local, we're still working on a local option. It's coming. Thank you.